What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 2.5 out of 48 in building a full-time income online from zero, selling stuff on the internet. So let's get straight into it. It wouldn't be a proper reseller channel if I didn't do an episode from my car. Plus, I want to show you guys just do it. Like, sometimes you do not have time to sit in front of a computer and do some highly edited stuff. But these are 10 things I wish I knew when I first started. Today I'm going to be spending my time driving around to sourcing and also stopping by places like Buffalo Exchange, Plato's Closet. In your area might be Closed Mentor, and just getting rid of items that do not meet my minimum profit threshold of at least 15 bucks, but I've accumulated either from friends just giving me their stuff or from buying lots, and inside of them there's stuff that I don't want to sell. So let's get straight into it. The first thing I wish I knew when I first started was to plan my day the day before. And so this is very hard. It's very, very challenging. And to get into this, before the day ends, you want to add stuff that you need to get done tomorrow into your calendar before the day ends. I just barely started doing this today. So it's very difficult to actually add it into your calendar tomorrow, because that means you have to do it tomorrow. And that's, the opposite of procrastination is planning and executing. So this is a painful one, but it's probably the most important. Also, I want to give credit to my mastermind calls in the morning. That's where 99% of my ideas come from. So in these 10 tips, none of them are original. They're all from my group, people introducing different ideas. This is in my private mastermind calls, which are $100 a month. And there's not very many people in that group, but it's the same people each day sharing what they're doing to actually improve their store each week, each day. There's only 100 people in that group, and that's something that can help you really build a family, because a lot of people are doing this alone. Reselling is kind of a lonely endeavor. So that might be something that you guys want to join, but again, you do not have to do that. You can do this completely solo and silently. Okay, number 2 is there is no glory in doing this yourself. I don't know why people like telling people they do it themselves. There's no glory in that. The glory is in reaching your goals. So if you have a goal and you hit it, that makes you happy. You could do it all by yourself and be failing at your goals. No one's going to give you a medal of honor for doing it by yourself. In fact, I think there's more honor in being able to provide for somebody else. That's way more difficult. This morning we were chatting about how to get more out of your day. And the easiest way to get more time out of your day is to have somebody help you, get an assistant or an employee. But that's the hardest to set up. It's very hard to find somebody to set up to help you do things. And this is why I want to give you guys the tip of, this is what I did, and it really, 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 really worked, which was I just hired out one task at a time. Somebody told me you're not going to find a full-fledged employee to work for you when you don't even know how to do it yourself. So just hire one specific task, just photography, just product research, just sourcing, whatever. You need to just hire one thing at a time. You guys know James, my long-time contractor, started with just photography, then he did descriptions. Now he's actually out looking for me because he knows what items I like to buy. And because photography and describing is easier to outsource than sourcing, I'd rather he spend 100% of his time looking for $30 plus profit items than me having him inside doing essentially what I consider $11 an hour work, which is photography and item describing. That's sort of minimum wage. All these companies that have consignment, the people who do data entry and photography, are the lowest paid people in the company. So if you think there's glory in your resale business doing the lowest paid activities, that's on you. There is no glory in that. You do not have to do this by yourself. No one envies that, right? They're not going to say, oh, I wish I did it all by myself so I could take all the credit. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to set an income goal and then reach it. The third thing is, time blocking is something that is easier said than done, but you want to organize your day based on like sections of time. Some people do 30-minute blocks. It's like the Pomodoro method. Some people do 2-hour blocks. If you are Derek Sivers, he does 10-year blocks of just doing the same thing. So, you just pick a period of time where you block something in. I recommend putting your creative process first. So in the morning, my call is at 6 in the morning. I do the call, get some ideas, and then I try to execute it right after that. Because if you don't, when the whirlwind of your day happens, your kids, picking up your dry cleaning, work tasks, trying to figure out how to work out and eat healthy, when that starts going, you're not going to have the mental capacity to add in any improvement. You're just going to do your day pretty much the same as you did yesterday, right? So if you want to add an improvement, you got to do it right when you are fresh. I've never snapped on a video. Unfortunately, I didn't switch into a different setting. But let's get into the next thing. Okay, this one's very hard, and I don't know how to do this. So if you guys can actually put in the comments section how to do this, that would be great. And if you're enjoying this content, please gently caress the like button so I can get other people to find this channel. That would really, really help me out. Thank you. Is buffer time. You need to schedule in time where there's nothing so that you can get the things done that you said you were going to do, because things always take longer than you think they're going to take to do. So I don't know even what this looks like. Does that mean to do 1 hour of listing, you actually block in 90 minutes so that you can, in case there is something that takes a little longer to research or something is going on, you will be able to actually do it. It just depends, right? That's really challenging. So if you guys have any tips on how to actually add in buffer time, that would be much appreciated. Throw that in the comment section below. I think everyone would benefit from having a little extra buffer to get things done. Okay, number 5. This is something I want to really talk about, which is maybe scheduling different tasks on different days. So maybe one day you are sourcing, one day you are listing, one day you are photographing. Blocking it off by day might work for you. For me, I find it easier to do this mostly the same thing every single day, but one of the most productive people I've encountered is John Lee Dumas. He runs a podcast called Entrepreneur on Fire, EO Fire. He also does the Freedom Journal, which I am doing right now and supporting his cause. He has 365 episodes a year of his podcasts, and they are all the same format, same questions. Hey, you're an entrepreneur. What do you do? What's successful for you? Great. Where can people find you? Great. What's your affiliate link so that I can make some money off of you? It's the exact same format every single time. And that format, even though it's kind of boring and it's the same exact podcast every single time, it's digestible. So people who are entrepreneurs on the road, they want a quick episode of information and then get back to work. That's what I'm trying to do with my channel. So if you guys like it, let me know. But again, they just want that quick injection of information and then go act on it. And that business for him has produced probably between $5 and $10 million profit a year, or $5 and $10 million in revenue. I'm not sure, but digital products have a very high ROI. So I'm sure he does very, very well. But think about that consistency that he does, 7 days a week podcast. But I'll tell you this, he films all of the episodes on one day of the week. The rest of the week is optimizing them, figuring out who's the guest, all that stuff. It's very complicated. So again, batches it all in one day. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, the next one is, the more work a category is, the less competition there is, but the harder it is to get started. So let me give you guys an example. I would say a large percentage of the people that I know that do really well selling clothing sell suits. Now, I can hear the haters already saying, oh, I have 4 suits and I don't sell any. That's true, right? The people that I know that do well selling suits have thousands of suits in stock. I know 4 gentlemen that have 2,000 suits in stock and regularly have 10, 20 suits sell a day. But are you patient enough to list suits with perfect photos? Because career men are not going to be buying a janky ass listing, right? You've got to put some effort into it to make it look like somebody with money would want to spend $50 to $200 for a used item online. Great photos, great measurements. Do you have a gigantic selection? Because this is historically a very, very slow sell-through category. We're talking about 1 to 5% per month if you have a big inventory. Are you patient enough to get 500 to 2,000 suits in your inventory? Most likely not. So if you are willing to put the work in and build that inventory up, you're going to have a very long-term, stable business versus trying to chase that super hot, easy to find bolo of the week. That stuff's going to come in and out and not really work. So I'm going to touch on one more point. Sorry for the aside. Somebody commented, Chris, your 10 by 10 by 10 model is like multi-level marketing, because if you lose one, you got to keep recruiting the other one. And I'm like, It is not like multi-level marketing. Are you kidding me? Multi-level marketing, 98% of people lose 100% of their money. That's not what this is. It's totally different. I do get the churn. The only thing that's similar is that there's churn. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. My buddy Prince, he has this. Okay, he has 10 products that sell 10 times a day for $10 profit. He's one of the rare people, that the unicorn of resellers that has that. But he has 97 replenishables, okay? And he's constantly removing ones that don't work and adding in new ones. Who said that 10 by 10 by 10 means you only have 10 products? That's the goal. The objective is 10 by 10 by 10. How you get there might look more like 97 items that you are guessing to see if they're going to work, testing the market to get that 10 by 10 by 10. It also took him 6 years to do it. 6 years of no family, no kids, and just hardcore grinding, finding who these people are. If you are a person with kids, family, a job, and bills that you need to pay in the short term, it may take you an entire lifetime to do this, which is fine. That's what I said. That should be your lifetime goal, not your 1 month goal. How can you get 10 replenishables in 1 month? That's not possible. There's not enough hours, even if you didn't sleep, to contact that many people and test that many products. So sorry for that aside. It's like a bonus tip. Okay. Number 7, at some point you need to just do this. Okay, this is why I made this series, to just start from nothing. Did I want to list yesterday at midnight? Not really, but I wanted to get up at least $10 profit. And to be honest, $10 profit is odd to me, because my habit is listing thousands of dollars of profit a day is my objective. I want to list at least $1,000 profit. So $10 profit is 1% of my goal of the activity that I'm rolling. So when they say 10x your goals, that'll really jumpstart your activity. That works. You know, my goal at $1,000 a day profit listing makes this $10 challenge really interesting. I'm sorry, very achievable. But I do want to mention something that's kind of interesting on that point, which is I haven't listed an item myself for over a year. Okay, I don't list anymore. So just getting started was hard even for me, because I haven't listed in such a long time. So I took my own photos. There's a link to my store in the description below. And to give you guys another idea on that, the photos I took for this store were done with daylight. Okay, not a fancy photo kit, just daylight. Okay, so I'm trying to remove all of the barriers to getting started. Someone also posted, are you going to include pretend like your storage unit is not an expense? You said you were going to be starting with 0. If you don't have a storage space, do it at home. Okay, I mentioned in the video that there's a 10 by 10 space that I'm using to list these items. You don't need a 10 by 10 space, okay? You could be creative, and if you really wanted it, you could do it in your bedroom, a 1-bedroom apartment, and just move your mattress outside of the room for half an hour while you take your photographs. If there's a will, there's a way. There's always people looking for an excuse not to get started. Tip number 7 might be the most important tip. Please let me know in the comment section which tip you like the most, but at some point, you just have to do it. Okay. Number 8 is journaling. I think that's super important. I'm actually recording all these different ideas before I give you guys these episodes. It's something to look back on and be super proud of. Keeping track of what you've done is very cool. And then if something ever happens to you, somebody can pick up the journal and really have a time capsule of your life. What you're working on, what you thought was interesting, what you didn't like, people you hate, whatever. All of that information can be in a journal. And that's great, because you have something to actually look back on and be proud of. A lot of people who are entrepreneurs never take the time to write down just how amazing they are at creating this endeavor. You guys are creating something from nothing, right? That's incredible. You're creating something from nothing, and if you don't record, no one will ever know. You should be sharing your story. This is literal documentation of what's going on right now, giving you guys an idea. There's no editing, there's no fancy filters, there's no music. It's just straight up what I'm trying to do and sharing with you guys. Most of you should be doing the same. When I first started this YouTube channel, it wasn't to create money. It was just to journal, just to have fun, just to talk about what I'm doing, share with other people, and it's turned into this because I've done 300 episodes of selling stuff online. Okay, number 8. Actually, number 8 is the journaling. Number 9. Bills and maintaining stuff eat up your time. So this is kind of crazy. I'm really into eating similar stuff, wearing similar stuff, doing the same thing every day, because it requires less time and less maintenance. Right now, I'm in a 2005 Toyota Prius that requires basically zero maintenance. This car doesn't cost it costs basically $75 a year in maintenance. I don't have to spend very much time. I actually use yourmechanic.com, so the mechanic comes to my house to service it. I don't even go to a proper repair shop because I just don't want to sit there for 2 or 3 hours. And I currently value my time at $180 an hour. So why would I spend $360 an hour servicing my Prius? That's more than it costs to operate this car. So it really depends on how you value your time and simplicity. If I sold a $480,000 car, okay, for the Lexus LFA when I worked for Lexus, and that car, an oil change cost $2,000, and they have to fly somebody in to do it. That is, can you imagine how much work that is? You have to basically schedule ahead of time, talk to the dealer. Your car, usually when you own a car like that, it's flat bedded to the dealership, so you've got to organize somebody coming to your place to get, and of course, this isn't probably something your assistant would do if you were at that level, but still, it's a lot of work to take care of that kind of car. Plus, you're probably not going to park it really close. You're going to park it away from other people so it doesn't get hit. You're constantly going to be worried about people digging in your car, and when you're also a high target person when you do that, so it's kind of like, it's a lot of maintenance and work to have a lot of expensive stuff. One of the top people on Instagram, Dan Blazarian, he said it's a full-time job for somebody to manage all the things that he has. Like 40 hours a week is just taking care of cars, houses, guns, all that stuff is somebody's full-time job. Okay, so if you want to reduce and get more time into your schedule, you got to reduce your stuff. And sometimes things that require a lot of maintenance are not worth it. When you figure the enjoyment that you get versus how much time you have to put into it to maintain that thing, it is crazy. Okay, next. Last one. All right, guys, thank you for hanging on this long. This is a long ass episode, but let's get into it. The last one is new categories actually eat up your time, and less categories creates efficiency of time. So if you really want to boost your business, you're going to focus on less categories. It's a lot easier to start and sell everything that's profitable than it is to hunker down and just get good at one category, or even more scary, just hunker down and get good at one product. Okay, one SKU, one product. You be the person that has all the way to the manufacturer level. And I'll tell you guys right now, I have one product that sells 10 times a day for $10 profit. Okay, I am the only person allowed to sell it direct from the manufacturer. Last 30 days, I did $2,700 with one product. Guys, one product. I'm the only person allowed to sell it. I have an agreement from the manufacturer that I'm the only person that can sell it. No one else can jump on this listing. So I just need 10 more of these for my 10 by 10 by 10 rule. And it took me 2 years to get this freaking listing. So it takes a long time, but I'm patient. If it takes me 20 years to knock out these 10, great. That means I can retire in 20 years instead of 40 years, people working for other people. So hopefully this is inspirational and motivational, guys. If you have time, smash that like button, leave a comment, and if you want to follow along yourself and do the listing, you can download the reseller field guide. It's $65, but half off with code YouTube. So $32 if you guys want to support this channel and help me continue to grow. Also, I just want to take a second to thank everybody who's followed me on this journey. I really, really appreciate it. It takes a lot of time, and you guys can tell, hopefully, that a lot of love and effort goes into making outlines to make these videos as clean and crispy as possible. Appreciate you guys. Take care.